Hello, this is the Prince of Macedon, and I'm doing a commentary battle on the Grassy Flatlands, and this is a nighttime battle. This is a Seleucid versus Macedonian battle, and for this fight I am the Seleucids, and my opponent, King of Macedon, is in charge of the Macedonians. That's right, my opponent's name is King of Macedon. Anyways, let's show you my army first. Here's my Seleucid army. Here's my general. He's a general's armored bodyguard. And I also have 4 squadrons of companion cavalry, and they're separated on both flanks evenly. To the left of my general, I have my Silver Shield Legionnaires, and I will use them like Alexander used his Royal Hypaspis. On the front ranks, I have my Silver Shield Pikemen. There's 6 of those, and just behind them I have another layer of pikemen, and these are 5 groups of Phalanx pikemen. On the far left I have a squadron of Greek cavalry. Alright, so let's show you the Macedonian army of King of Macedon. Here it is, way back here. Here's his general. He is a companion cavalryman, and just surrounding him are other groups of companions, so altogether he has 5 squadrons of companion cavalry. In front of them he has 4 groups of Cretan archers, as well as 1 group of Illyrian mercenaries. And his phalanx is composed of the mighty royal pikemen. They're not really mighty, but compared to my silver shields, they're a really good match. Anyways, he has 10 royal pikemen. Meanwhile, I'm advancing forward. As I said, my opponent's name is King of Macedon, and I messaged him for a game when I saw his name. But I thought it'd be neat if we had the Prince of Macedon versus the King of Macedon. And this is actually the second game we fought. The first battle was fought with my money level, and it was kind of lame because I was using cataphracts, and my cataphracts absolutely tore his cavalry apart, even his infantry. So I decided not to use cataphracts this time, to make it more sporting. So anyways, here's my general's armored bodyguard. I'm just going to draw out some of his archer fire here. And I'm going to show him that I can maneuver my cavalry well. There's my general. Anyways, it turns out that my opponent's a really nice guy. So it's nice to be fighting someone who has a similar name and has similar etiquette. And, oh, by the way, we're playing this battle at my opponent's money level. So, I wanted to be sporting too, since he played at my money level first. But typically I only play at 10,000. Sometimes I'll make the exception, but typically I want to play my money level. Because at my money level, every faction is playable, and almost every unit is playable. I like the diversity. So anyways, I'm bringing my double-layered phalanx up here, and he's flaming them with his missiles. I'm not losing too many men. Like this group, they only lost like, I think 8 men in these flame attacks. And this would be a very epic fight between these silver shields and these royals. Anyways, I'm running down these flanks here. As I said, I'm using my Silver Shield Legionnaires as Royal Hypaspis. The Royal Hypaspis were those dudes that followed the companion cavalry into battle. They're very flexible, and they provided the hinge between the cavalry and the phalanx in Alexander the Great's battle. As you can see, they're well ahead of the phalanx right now. Anyways, I'm starting the cavalry fight, which is kind of tough because we have similar cavalry, and my opponent has archers, which is going to tip the scales in his favor here. So you can see the flame effects. They're taking their toll on my cavalry. As you can see, my cavalry just routed. Here's my general unit. He got into the thick of battle kind of late, and I'm just going to get him out of there. Meanwhile, I sent my Silver Shield Legionnaires in to take out these archers, because I can't fight his cavalry without taking out these archers. Of course, you can see my cavalry is already routed on the right there. But now his Cretans are going to get it, because at close range, they're no match for my silver shields. So my guys are going to keep cutting through here. And in the battle, this is where they are. They're right behind the enemy line. Meanwhile, my cavalry over here is engaging his remaining cavalry. It's a close battle. It's a lot closer now that I've got his archers preoccupied. Luckily, I routed one of his units there. And it should be quite even, because I also have some Greek cavalry, which aren't really that great in a cavalry fight. So now I'm pushing my phalanx forward here, because I'm ready for this phalanx engagement. And here's my generals. Armored bodyguard, they are able to escape his companions and cut through into his archers. And my silver shields are getting deeper and deeper behind the enemy line. Like, very soon they're going to be into this line of Cretans, and after them, I've got these royals here. So the danger is that my silver shields will keep penetrating and attack these pikemen from the rear. But anyways, I still have a reserve line of phalanx, which is kind of uncommon for Hellenistic armies. They usually fought in one giant line, not keeping reserves. But in some occasions there were reserve to use. Like Alexander the Great used a reserve line at the Battle of Gaugamela. You could say he almost used a mobile noob circle. Like if you saw his deployment. Alright, so my silver shields have penetrated his Cretans, and now they're going to cut into his Illyrians. And the Cretans have their daggers out, but they're not going to be able to withstand my legionaries for too long. And now I've cut into his phalanx line too. Now these guys are screwed. They got silver shield behind them and phalanx, my silver shield in front of them. So that line evaporated. Anyways, I've won the cavalry fight. My guys are just kind of roaming behind right now, over there. And his general retreated from the fight because he knew that he was going to lose that. So here's his general. He picked a spot where it'd be safer for his general to be. Unfortunately, I had silver shields in the vicinity, so I'm going to come forward and engage his general. But I think my enemy's attention is occupied somewhere else. So I'm going to do battle with his general unit of companions. And they rout immediately. So I knock one horse down, two horses, another horse. And now my legionnaires are going to go right after the enemy commander. And I've killed the enemy general. So here's my cavalry. They're really depleted right now, but they can still be decisive. Watch this. They just crashed into that fresh unit of 121 Royal Pikemen, not even touched. But because of the morale deficiency now, and the combination of hammer and anvil, they routed without even touching my guys. Well, I mean, there was slight touching, but not much. So they went from 121 to 22 men in like 2 seconds. Alright, so his pikemen over here are being decimated, and they've routed. And on this side, he has more pikes here. They've routed too. And here's another pike unit. Let's see if let's see how long they last. It says they're losing. And it's only a matter of time before these guys bite it, because they're getting hit by 2 pike units. So this one finally bit it. They're running away. And right here is the last of his units, and they've routed. So that was a good fight. I'm glad to have fought somebody with a similar name and similar etiquette and a similar love for Hellenistic factions. Anyway, that was a heroic victory. I had 1,718 kills, and I had 1,149 men remaining, and my opponent, King of Macedon, had 650 kills with 138 men remaining.